Hi, I'm Hilary Anger Elfenbein, the John and Ellen Wallace Professor here at the Olin School of Business at Washington University. And I am joined today by Akberet Boykin Farr, who is the Vice President of Human Resources and Corporate Functions at Emerson. Akberet, it's such a joy to welcome you here today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's really my pleasure to be here.
Well, we'd love to talk about your leadership journey together. Can you walk us through what has that journey been like for you?
As I reflect back on my career and I think about transitioning to be a leader from an individual contributor, I remember my first role walking in and meeting my team and wondering, what do I do? Do I direct every one of them? Do I direct the work? And that's when you begin to kind of reach back and think about individuals that you've met before and how they've managed you in the past, or other leaders, how they have had a vision and walked it through with their team. So quickly you realize you're in there and you're going to be the leader, and you need to navigate how best to get the best out of everyone in the team.
So it's about reaching into your repertoire of role models.
Absolutely. And role models, and then some things that you don't necessarily want to emulate. There are some practices that you think could be done differently. And so when you become a leader, you try to make sure you bring those learnings on and implement them as well.
So that's fascinating. So you're talking about what you want to emulate and having some mindfulness around what you don't want to emulate.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is really understanding what leaders are able to get the best out of individuals. And those are the traits and the characteristics that when you become a leader, you want to carry forward. Some of those are integrity, some of them are empathy, getting to know and build relationship with your team members. Those are some things that I know I've tried to emulate. So you have to create the right recipe for yourself so that you can get, and the way I measure when any type of leadership skills that I have is when I think that I've gotten the best out of every individual, when I've tapped into what they can do to uplift the goals of that team.
So what would you say is the most pivotal moment in your leadership journey?
One thing that sticks out in my mind is I worked for an individual who was the leader of the organization. And in the hall one day, I saw him shaking the hand of one of our custodians. And he introduced himself just like he did to investors, to outside individuals that would pursue business with the organization. And he was the exact same person. And I realized at that moment that you really can't change. If you're a leader with whomever you're working with. You are treating those individuals with respect. You're wanting to get to know them. You're wanting to build a relationship with them regardless of who they are. And as the leader of the organization, I felt like from A to Z, he had the same relationship with everyone.
So what advice would you have for aspiring leaders?
One of the things I think about really almost on a day-to-day basis, and it's a quote from Maya Angelou, and I'm not going to say it exactly right, but I'll paraphrase it. People forget what you did, they forget what you say, but they never forget how you make them feel. So as a leader, I think that the advice I would give to someone is always be thinking about how you're making that person feel. Are you making them feel like they're competent? Are you making them feel like they can accomplish the task you've given them? Have you shown confidence in them? And I think if you can do that as a new leader and build on that and develop your leadership skills, not only will you be a successful leader, but so will your team members.
Akberet, thank you so much for talking to us today. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me. It's always a delight to take a moment and reflect back on being a leader and what I can even continue to do further to improve.